What's going on, guys? This is Bookin' with Kage, where I'll share my tips, tricks, and techniques so you can share your story with the world. In this video, we're going to do a review of NaNoWriMo 2016's and the lessons I have learned. So NaNoWriMo 2016 is over, and I've learned a couple of things since the beginning and now to the end that has changed my ideas, impressions, and plans for next year, NaNoWriMo 2017. The first thing is motivation. I learned that it's really important to keep yourself motivated throughout all of November. And this can't be overstated enough. I found it harder and harder through the weeks to keep motivated enough to write. And it was a challenge at times because of work, and it just took away time from my writing, but I forced myself to write at least 100 words on the low points of my days, and I made sure to keep writing no matter what, and the end result is that I did win. I got my certificate. I've completed NaNoWriMo for the first time, my first year, and I'm pretty proud of that. And, I'm just going to take what I learned from this year to help me next year to better prepare. So the first thing is, motivation. You got to keep yourself motivated. And for me, being motivated was writing and doing NaNoWriMo with my wife. She finished on day 13. She hit 50,000 words on day 13. Completing her novel, she ended up at over 93,000 words. And that inspired me, and that kept me motivated to keep going and pushing through no matter what. And it just helped me to find it in myself to keep pushing and keep writing. And we also were active with our local nano group as far as the Facebook group we were in. We kept posting and kept pushing everybody else, kept everybody motivated. They kept motivating us, and it was very encouraging to see that, we weren't the only ones struggling. They were struggling too. These were veterans. These were people that had tried it a few times or knew people like us. So it was having that community environment was very important for me to feel that, I wasn't alone in this, and everybody else was struggling just the same way I was, but I kept pushing. So, number one, that was the most important thing, I think, was to keep motivated. And secondly, another thing tied into keeping motivated was to keep writing. I emphasized that throughout NaNoWriMo, that you had to keep writing no matter what. And I forced myself to write, even though it was 100 words or so, a couple of days during my work week, I wrote something. I didn't want to end up skipping a day and not writing. And if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have had the habit to write every day, and I probably would have dropped off at some point. But I kept writing, and I think for me, that's what made all the difference. Another big thing was keeping everything organized. For me, outlining, organizing, all of that played a big part of my winning NaNoWriMo. I know for next year, I'm going to outline much more into detail because I tried to leave a couple of things open, and because of that, my story has really turned into this. It started one way, and in the end, it's a completely different story now. Characters are completely different, and I have a massive amount of editing to do, but that's fine. I was gonna, have to do a lot of editing in the first place, and I assumed that much already, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll deal with it when I get to editing. But if I didn't have that outline, if I didn't have a structure to what I was doing, I would have completely failed. I would have bombed this, and it wouldn't have ended up with a win like it did. And that's really thanks to being motivated, writing every day, and having my outline to follow. Even though I didn't exactly follow it to a T, it guided me along, and I finished NaNoWriMo my first year. I'm really happy about that. I'm really proud that I finished. I'm very super proud of my wife, who finished with basically almost two novels worth, if you consider 50,000 words a novel, like NaNoWriMo has pushed for hitting that mark. So how many of you guys out there has finished NaNoWriMo? How many of you are still trying to finish your novel? And, what are you doing in the month of December? What are your plans for your novel or for yourself? Me, personally, I'm taking the month off. I'm not thinking about my novel. I'm trying not to do mental edits and things like that, even though they are happening. But I'm just taking this month to relax. In 2017, January 1st, it's going to be time to start editing, read it through, and check on the mistakes I've made, which are many, and just start tweaking my story and getting it where I want it to be, so eventually, hopefully, next year, I will have a published work, a published novel that I can put up for anybody who's ready, willing, and able to read it, and hopefully they enjoy it. But I want to know, what are you guys out there doing for December post-NaNoWriMo? Tell me what your NaNoWriMo experiences were. First time NaNoWriMo participant, veteran, whatever. I want to hear it. Let me know. And hopefully you guys are going to continue with your novels in December and beyond. So, guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope your NaNoWriMo was a good one. And I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you next time, guys.